A crowded mall. Phones flash. A disabled black veteran leans on his cane, walking slowly through the entrance. The security guard sneers, loudly mocking his limp, tapping his cane like a joke. "What's wrong, old man? Lost your legs in a nap?" The veteran freezes, eyes burning. Shoppers whisper. The air is tense. Before we dive in, drop your city or state in the comments. Like and subscribe if you believe justice always stands for the powerless against arrogance. He had served his country with honor, sacrificing limbs, sleep, and peace for decades. Now, walking slowly through the bustling mall, the disabled black veteran leaned on his cane, his medals pinned neatly on his jacket, silent reminders of courage few could fathom. Today was supposed to be simple, a trip to buy his daughter's birthday gift. But arrogance has a way of finding the weak, or so it thought. The security guard, a middle-aged man with a smug grin, noticed him instantly. With a casual shove of his shoulder and a laugh loud enough for everyone nearby to hear, he mocked the veteran's limp. "Careful there, old man. Don't fall over," he sneered, tapping the cane like it was a toy. Shoppers turned their heads. Phones came out. Whispers spread like wildfire. Some were shocked, others uncomfortable, and a few brave souls stepped closer, unsure if they should intervene. The veteran didn't speak. He walked steadily, eyes forward, shoulders squared, each step heavy but resolute. The guard's laughter grew, emboldened by the silence, thinking his victim was meek and powerless. Tension rippled through the crowd. Mothers clutched children, teens recorded every second, and store clerks peeked from behind counters. The air was thick with anticipation, waiting for either an eruption of violence or an improbable act of restraint. Every eye was on him, yet the veteran remained calm, a man who had faced far worse than insults and sneers, a man whose dignity was unshakable. But patience has limits, and today, the silence would speak louder than the guard's mockery ever could. The veteran paused near a fountain, taking a deliberate breath. He could feel the guard's eyes burning into him, full of arrogance and mockery. The guard circled him like a predator, smirking, tapping the veteran's medals, pointing at his cane, making loud, humiliating jokes for everyone to hear. "Looks like someone's trying to play hero, huh? Bet you can't even stand straight without that stick," the guard sneered, drawing laughter from a few nearby shoppers. Some tried to look away, uncomfortable, while others discreetly recorded the spectacle, the tension making their hands shake. The veteran said nothing. He straightened his back, each movement deliberate, controlled. His silence was sharper than any insult. The guard, interpreting it as fear, leaned in closer, jabbing at his medals with a finger. "Don't tell me those are worth anything now. You fight anyone without your little stick?" A whisper ran through the crowd. A young man stepped forward. "Hey, that's enough. Show some respect." The guard scoffed, brushing him off. "Mind your business, kid. This doesn't concern you." But the veteran finally spoke. Calm, even, with a voice that carried authority without shouting. "You know nothing of service, of sacrifice. Yet here you are, mocking the very people who protect this country." The guard laughed, arrogance still blinding him. "Oh, what are you gonna do about it? Call the cops?" The crowd shifted uneasily, sensing the tension spike. People murmured, some gripping their phones tighter. The veteran's eyes scanned the space, calm but unyielding. Every word he spoke, every pause, drew the guard further into his trap. "What's the matter? Cat got your tongue?" the guard jeered, pointing at his limp. "Bet you're proud of that medal. Bet they let you keep it just for looking scary." The veteran stepped closer, each movement purposeful. "You think this is a joke? But respect isn't earned by mockery. It's demanded by truth. And today, truth has a way of catching up with the arrogant." The guard's smirk faltered. Sweat appeared at his temple. He had mocked many, humiliated a few, but never one like this, one who radiated authority without raising a fist. The crowd held its breath. Phones recorded every second. The air vibrated with anticipation, waiting for the moment when arrogance would finally collide with reality. And that moment was coming. The veteran took a slow step forward, his cane tapping softly against the polished floor. The mall fell into a hushed silence, every eye fixed on the confrontation. The guard's laughter had faded, replaced by a flicker of unease. With deliberate calm, the veteran reached into his jacket and pulled out his ID. He held it up for all to see, a gleaming emblem, a badge of decades of service. "I'm retired Colonel James Harper, U.S. Army," he announced, voice steady, each word carrying weight and authority. "That's a rank earned on battlefields, not in a security booth." Gasps erupted across the crowd. Phones stopped moving, frozen mid-recording. Shoppers whispered frantically, eyes wide, mouths agape. The guard's face turned pale, disbelief etched across his features. He had spent the last 10 minutes humiliating a man he assumed powerless, unaware he was mocking someone far above him in rank and respect. Veterans in the crowd stepped forward, saluting quietly. Some whispered, nodding in reverence. The once confident guard now fumbled, stammering, unable to comprehend the reversal. The mall that had been alive with tension now trembled with awe. "Colonel Harper," one shopper asked, voice barely audible. You really served?" The veteran gave a small nod, dignified, unflinching. "Yes. And it's a shame some still confuse mockery for courage." The guard's arrogance crumbled, replaced by raw humiliation. The crowd's energy shifted, admiration for the veteran, disgust for the aggressor. The power dynamic had flipped in an instant, public shock sending ripples through everyone present. In that moment, Colonel Harper didn't need to raise a hand or shout. His rank, his service, his unshakable composure spoke louder than any threat. Justice had arrived quietly, yet undeniably, and the mall became a stage for a lesson in respect, authority, and truth. The guard was swiftly escorted away by mall management, his face flushed with embarrassment. No more smug smirks, no more mockery. The crowd watched, a mixture of awe and satisfaction on their faces. Phones still recorded, capturing the moment the arrogant were humbled by truth. Mall management, now aware of the full story, stepped forward. "We apologize, Colonel Harper. This behavior is unacceptable," they announced, their voices formal but tinged with genuine remorse. The crowd murmured approval, some clapping quietly, others nodding in respect. Veterans nearby saluted, and the whispers spread quickly, "That's Colonel Harper. He's a hero." The words traveled through the mall like wildfire, reaching every corner, turning humiliation into triumph. Colonel Harper didn't gloat. He adjusted his jacket, lifted his cane, and walked with calm authority. Every step was deliberate, commanding respect without a word. The once bustling mall now seemed quieter, reverent, as if acknowledging the presence of a man who had faced far greater battles than a single day's insult. The security guard faced disciplinary action, his career marred by a moment of arrogance and disrespect. The story circulated online, shared widely, reminding people that mockery and cruelty never go unnoticed, and that true authority can demand respect without threats. As Colonel Harper exited the mall, the crowd parted respectfully. Children watched in awe, shoppers whispered, and somewhere, a young veteran smiled, inspired. Justice hadn't been shouted from a podium, it had arrived quietly, powerfully, and publicly. The message was clear: humility is earned, arrogance punished, and respect is not optional. Truth had prevailed, and the mall, once a stage for humiliation, had become a testament to honor, courage, and the unyielding strength of those who serve.